Hi, distinguished organizer and participants. Today, Tiger Accelerator is pleased to present the topic, Get Your Green Sales Strategy Ready to Step into EU Markets. Couple essential business partner you may need. My name is Valerie Hsu, Director of Tiger Accelerator. Today, I would like to talk about the EU Green Deal. How will it impact my business? Climate change and environmental degradations are an existing threat to Europe and the world. To overcome these challenges, in 2019, the European Commission launched the European Green Deal, which is a package of action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to minimize the use of resources while achieving economic growth. The final goal is to achieve no net emissions of greenhouse gases by 2050. This means that products sold in the EU markets will need to meet higher sustainability standards. If you export to the EU, you want to know how the EU Green Deal policies can impact your business and prepare yourself for those impacts. You may need to adopt a new economic model in order to reduce, reuse, and recycle to achieve sustainable business growth. For example, you may adopt as a service model to transform the EU into a modern, resources-efficient, and competitive economy. How does the EU Green Deal impact imports to EU? You may face higher standards for social environmental sustainability in production and processing of goods and services. You may face increased demands for information on production and processing practices. In the short term, you may face increased cost of transitioning to new models of sustainable production. However, in the long term, the EU Green Deal is preparing the exporters of goods for a sustainable global market. The Fit for 50 package is a set of proposals for new EU legislation for the EU to meet the EU 2030 climate goal in order to achieve 5% reduction targets by 2030. The Fit for 50 package includes the following scheme and policies and regulations. So the EU could reduce its greenhouse gas emission by at least 55% by 2030. Here, I would like to touch upon Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, CBAM, which is part of European Green Deal. The EU importers of goods covered by the CBAM registers with national authorities, where they can also buy CBAM certificates. Certificates are priced based on weekly ETS allowances. ETS means Emission Trading System. The EU importer declares the emissions embedded in its imports and surrenders the corresponding number of certificates each year. If importers can prove that a carbon price has already been paid during the production of the imported goods, the corresponding amounts can be deducted. This is to reach the fairness and the equalization across borders. Sectors covered in the first phase of CBAM, our environmental policy tool to help maximize the European and the global impacts of our fight against climate change include cement, iron and steel, aluminum, fertilizer, electricity, and this is in transitional phase starting from 2023 and fully operational from 2026. This is my presentation, and if you need to match with a specialist for European Green Deal, please contact Tiger Accelerator. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thanks for the event host and every participations to having me here today. My name is Kevin Wu. I'm located in Germany. and the office nearby Frankfurt. Myself was an agency in European market development for more than 15 years, and moving to Germany since 2011. As we all believe, climate change is really there, and we are facing many natural disasters happens in our Earth. And we all think we have, and we really can do something. In any case, this change is happening. Instead of sitting there and doing nothing, we also see this change brings go green a lot of opportunity, also in business, right? In terms of go green, I believe all you have good knowledge and strong confidence to build your own product portfolio with a business strategy in mind and wanna step into European market to grow your business. As prior, Amazon and the marketing campaign friends give you a lot of tips how and what you should do and be able to smoothly step into European market. Apart from the strategy, sales plan in mind, today I want to take this chance to talk about a couple essential knowledges and European regulation changes that you have to know, and perhaps a third-party agents can give you a big assist and let you more focus on your company core competence and maintain your products capabilities, really present and win the European market. Let's go green. In this session, I divided into three parts. The first part is I would like to share with you some numbers that everybody can have some idea about European market in terms of e-commerce. Second part is now we are using the e-commerce as a sales channel to step into market. Marketplace is really a good method that we can utilize. It gives us a lot of convenience, a lot of a tool to understand about market. They provide the tools for us to understanding about where we have to address, where we have to put the advertisement. Some evidence I would like to also raise. Vendors have to, not just only the marketplace, but also your own website to better interpret your own branding and to differentiate with your competitor. The third part, I would like to talk about some European product requirements and regulation changes that every vendor have to know and have to be prepared in order to step into market to really win the market, to really earn the money from the European market. Okay, as we can see from the left side is the e-shopper, the people who are much more willing to shop on the internet. The first rank is the UK, the next one is the Netherlands, Denmark, Switzerland, and Germany. Although Germany is in the rank of the fifth, but Germany is the biggest market in Europe with 83 million populations, and people are much more environmental friendly awareness. People are much more buying something with go green products, they say. Okay, that's the reason many e-commerce or marketplace vendors are much more addressing those five the biggest European market like Germany, France, Spain, Italy, plus the UK. In the middle of the chart, we can see the statistic numbers. The retail e-commerce forecast from 2017 to 2025. During the pandemic period, we can see the numbers have the big growth, have a 20% of the growth rate. As we probably know, this year is happy to see the COVID is leaving away, and we can, from the statistical number, we can see the growth rate have dropped significantly, but it still maintains 7%. In the coming year, we also can see forecast figures are maintained 7% stably. Okay, the third one, we can see the e-GDP compared to the traditional defined GDP. Actually, the e-GDP is still in a very small portion. It means that the e-commerce is still in a very big room to grow. As we talk about e-commerce as our sales strategy to step into market, there are two things can be highlighted. The first one is standing on the top of a giant's shoulder can short our learning curve a lot. The second one is I would encourage all our vendors have to build your standalone website in order to better communicate to the market, to better spread your product image to your target market segment. Okay, talking about e-commerce, we have to look at the big player, marketplace player like Amazon or eBay. Once they are talking about they are in the USA market, as we can see, the local player like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, these players are also very strong in the USA market, and I would say they are much more like a balanced position in terms of in between each other. But compared to European market, although local player like Kaufland, Real in Germany, and Carrefour in France and in Spain are also playing very good position in the local market. But Amazon still owns 55% in the entire European e-commerce within the 27 countries. So you can see Amazon is really playing a very good position. That of course they are providing a lot of convenience to the vendors to step into market. That's the reason I would say standing on the top of a giant's shoulder can really short a lot of our learning curve in order to step into market. But on the other hand, I would like to also encourage the vendors, not just only using marketplace like Amazon as a single source to step into market, but also you need to build your own website in order to better communicate with the market and better distribute or spread your communication to the market. Okay, European is a very interesting market. Although branding are playing a big role, but the consumer are very much appreciate and looking for the small and the differentiate interest brand with the feature products. So I would believe all our vendor has a very good year in terms of volume productions. But nowadays, our neighbor China is also doing very good in this part. So, but after this year's transforming, we can see a lot of Taiwan good vendor, or they can not just only familiar with the mass production, but also bring a lot of spirit and atmospheres into their product and or their product images. So I would encourage our vendor have to build your standalone website to better communicate to the market. Yeah, especially now, thanks for the innovation of a new technology. A lot of a new technology, like a digital brand, digital campaign, digital marketing are much more feasible than ever. So we, as a distance seller, we can really do a lot in this digital era. Okay, then the next part is the hard part. But let's jump into our today's topic. The European has a product requirements and the regulation change in order to bring your product really step into the market. So, for example, like the VAT, nowadays we need to have the sales tax to the point of the sales. Then the requirements to the vendor, the EPR, so-called EPR, the extended producer responsibilities. That's a product requirements we need to follow. Then the next one is some of the regulation change also in custom clearance. So I would like to give you some brief understanding about this, because these are something vendors must to know and need to follow and be prepared in order to smoothly step into market and really win the market. And that's the reason we jump into today's topic, the couple essential business model you may need and in order to short your path to growth. Okay, then let's go next. As we were saying, e-commerce is also a new thing to the European market compared to other continents. The e-commerce sales value is still quite low. Okay, therefore, a lot of, let's say, many different new requirements and regulation are changing during these years, like the VAT, EPR extended the producer responsibility, and the custom clearance also have some changes in order to dealing with the e-commerce. Although these are actually written on the paper and announced by law, of course we are able to learn by ourselves, but in practically it's not that easy because many countries has different timing to fulfill these requirements and changes, and each country's office has a different interpret to the regulations. At the same time, how about your goods coming to the market, to the Europe? We are using the ocean ship. It's around about 2 months to arrive. How many quantities we need to be prepared in the European market? How those quantities can really fit into your marketing campaigns. On the other hand, how about after sales services? Once the goods sells to the customer, how we can dealing with those returned the goods. I think those are something we need a local partner to dealing with. This we can't say issue, but there is a completely sales strategy we need to consider. That's the reason I would like to mention about this. And of course, within this 10 or 15 minutes, that is not easier to cover everything. That's the reason I would say some changes we need to know, and some experience, some essential partners we need to cooperate with. Experienced partner make us relax and be able to focus on our business. That's why we say 神队友可以带我们上天堂. Okay, let's jump into next page. Let's cover the e-commerce VAT first. After 1st of July 2021, e-commerce seller has the responsibility to collect the VAT from the buyer based on their delivery address. There are various VAT ratio in different countries. In Germany is 19%, France is 20%, Spain is 21%, Italy is 22%, then UK is 20%. For example, like the seller sell €100 value of goods to the European consumer. On top of that 100, you need to plus 19% to the German buyer and 22% for Italian customer, for example. Where and how the seller can pay for the VAT. So this IOSS scheme can be very easy. The import one-stop shop. Dealing with the product value lower than €100 for each sales. Once the customs recognizes your IOSS numbers, then the clearance can be very easier compared to the traditional custom clearance. Through this IOSS, there is no duty and no import tax. It makes custom clearance become very easier. Many of the IOSS scheme agency, they also provide a platform can recognize your sales and auto record the VAT amounts and certify the taxation report directly to the financial department in each country. This EPR, extended producer responsibility, is also a very important topic to the vendor, to the producer. These requirements directly affect our products, whether it is able to import into European countries. Saying easier is the European Committee would like to ask the producer has the full of the product responsibility throughout or completely the product life cycles. Okay, around about 80 regulations in legislations in 8 categories. After 16th of July 2021, all the product need to fulfill these EPR requirements, and you need to have the vendor need to have a product representative in the Europe be able to import a product into European countries. Okay, 3 major categories. Packaging in already performed in the Germany and the French market. WEEE waste electrical and electronic equipment is coming in the next year, and the battery is also scheduled in the 2023. As what we were saying, the vendor is also able to join by themselves and study by themselves. Is actually written very clear in by law. Okay, so you can join the PRO, Producer Responsibility Organizations, to register and to follow all the requirements into your products, especially like what we are saying, the first major category is the packaging. Within the packaging, you need to have a specific logo and specific contact person and saying what kind of a product category you are belong to. Okay. On the other hand, you also can rely on the representative agency. They do have a complete knowledge to guide your products through all the ERP requirements. In the same time, they are able to be your EU representative. I think that is a very important formation and a very important essential partners you need to have in order to import a product into European countries. In this page, it shows the competitive e-commerce whole journey from the distant seller in Taiwan till the buyer in the Europe. Okay, after 2 months ocean shooter from Taiwan, for example, the first point we are arriving is the European customs. Okay, if we have our own shop or our standalone website to sell directly to the European customer, then we will consider that is a B2C, then we are able to apply IOSS as a simple custom clearance to reach the European buyer. On the other hand, if we work with the marketplace player like Amazon in the Europe, then we will considering B2B plus the B2C. Okay, when it arrive in the European, then we do the customs clearance like the traditional business as a B2B. Then we sell our products to through the marketplace player like Amazon, as considering as a B2C. Of course, in the custom clearance, we also need to have HS code accuracy. In the EU, the third-party fulfillment services, the fulfillment services is based on the local, give you a local buffering stock, label exchange, pallet repacking, shipping parcels, delivery directly to the end customer, etc. Once we work with a marketplace player like Amazon, FBA, just very simple example. FBA have a requirements for the capacity requirements. Sometimes you can have 1,000 pieces be able to sell. Sometimes you have 10,000, but perhaps next month you can only have 500. So you definitely need to have some buffering in the local in order to fulfill your local market campaign. Considering the pan-Europe logistic services is also very important because European considering as a continent. So the truck, river, and the shipment are very different from our Taiwan environment. We always need to considering marketing campaign and sales as a whole. No matter you have your own website to communicate with the market, or you are through marketplace like Amazon to do the sales. Okay, e-marketing can be very convenient to the distant seller, but in order to properly communicate with the local potential seller or local target market segment, we perhaps considering the social, digital social e-commerce like Facebook or IG or even the KOL to represent our products. But on the other hand, there's also have some cultural issues. We often make a joke. If we are considering a nice web design in Germany, we always say clean, and then everything have to be the white background, clear products picture. If we are in the Netherlands, then everything have some symbols with orange color. In the France, at least 3 colors be able to see on the same pages. But if we are saying a nice page in the UK, then everything have to be the white and black in order to show the elegant atmosphere. So there is no any really the fixed answer in order to dealing with the cultural issue. But marketing is already the communication to your local potential customers. So I think this part is always need to be considered to the local partner, and those are very essentials. Here are a couple takeaways for you today. Go Green is our aim to achieve statistical figure and analysis data shows EU has a multiple growth potential compared to other continents. Apart from the sales strategy, essential tactical partner can help a lot, consult with and learn in deep to avoid the foreseeable risk. Every time when we doing something, we are considering 天时地利人和. Pandemic and inflation change our world a lot. In the same time, it really accelerates and transforming a lot of big opportunity that we never think about. 地利, Taiwan vendor has a strong Go Green awareness. That is a surprise. EU market with a strong intent appreciate the environmental friendly product, and it really happens in their practical daily life. That is demand and quite strong. 人和, we can help. Thanks for your time and hope to really bring some hints for your reference, and looking forward to meet you guys in our next matching event. Thanks again.